Okay, let's take a look at the facing away cable curl. We'll watch it and then we'll talk about it. Okay, let's take it from the top. Start by putting the cables all the way at the bottom. One hand on each cable. Make sure you're in the middle of the machine. And then take one big step forward. It doesn't need to be a bunch of steps forward, just one kind of normal stride forward. And you're going to be in a good spot already. You can take a step with either leg. No, it doesn't matter. And no, you don't need to switch sides. Pick a foot to step forward with that you feel stable with. Whichever one feels good. If you want to switch in between sets, that's totally fine. You don't need to switch within the set. It doesn't really matter. So I want you to look at this left side picture. The point of taking a step forward is to get the arm behind the torso like it is now. What that is going to do is going to help train the bicep in a more lengthened position. That is the goal of the movement. So you're just taking a step forward so that you can do curls with your arm slightly behind your torso, kind of like you do when you do an incline dumbbell curl. Now, on this left side, you'll see that I'm relatively upright with my torso. I suppose I have the slightest lean forward. That's okay. That's the position I want you to be in, relatively upright. I do not want you to have a big forward lean. A little lean is okay, but mostly upright. On the right side picture here, I want you to see that my arms are not hugged into the side of my body. They are acting as an extension of the cable. Now, you want to be curling in direct opposition to the line of force. And right now, the line of force is this cable. So I don't want to hug my arm into the side if the cable wants me to be out here. And so just let your arms hang where the cable wants them to hang. And then when you do the curls, you'll do them in this plane. Now, we're going to look at the left side first. And we're going to talk about the biggest mistake that I will see and that I see across the board with this movement is that we see too much elbow movement forward and back. This exercise is training elbow flexion, which means just the bending of the elbow. We're not moving the arm itself forward and back. And so I want you to watch that with the intent of understanding that I'm trying to keep my elbow directly in place. I'm just curling the weight. I'm not pushing my arm forward. I'm just keeping the arm back behind my torso and doing a curl. Now my elbow actually moves a tiny bit forward here. That's not such a big deal. It's still 99% a curl, 1% me moving my arm forward. I'm totally fine with that. We're talking about big swings forward and back are not good. And I will show you guys an example of what that looks like after this. Now let's look at that right side video. I want you guys to see that I'm not hugging my arms at my sides. I am letting my body and my arms curl in direct opposition to the line of force, which is the cable. And so my arms are off my body here. There's a space. There is a space because the cable is wider than my body. I'm not fighting gravity. I'm fighting the cables here. And so do not hug your arms at your sides. Let them be an extension of the cable. I want you curling in direct opposition to the line of force. Now, let's take a look at this elbow situation. This is a post that I've put up on Instagram. You can go back and watch it, but this is what it looks like. It's an example of what not to do. Let's take a look here. So you can see my elbows are swinging forward throughout this movement, and then they're traveling back as I go back down. This post is on my Instagram if you want to go back and look at it. But we're not swinging the elbows forward and back because we are not training this shoulder movement, right? This is not the movement that we are training. What we are training is elbow flexion, which is just this movement, all right? Send some forward videos. Let's talk about it.